Okay, guys, listen. If there's one thing I really love about this season, it is how this season is like a slow burn movie. You know the slow burn movies that, oh, right from the get-go, it's quite unassuming. You can't really predict how things will go. You know, everything is just chilled and calm. And then, before you know it, everything begins to pick up tempo. And then, boom, there's a massive explosion of emotions here and there. Guys, this is how this season has been. Listen, I've been cracking up all afternoon. I've been cracking up all afternoon because finally, Chinwe has let out some of her aggression. I told you all in my previous video that Chinwe has been spoiling for a fight. She's been looking for these highlights like all week since Monday. Today is Thursday. Chinwe has been looking for this highlight for the longest time. And today, opportunity presented it on a platter. And Chinwe, guys, Chinwe dished it out. Hot, 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 hot. Against the checkers pair. Specifically, Chizoba, the older sister. Now, it wasn't only Chinwe that had a lot to let off her chest. There was also Wani. And guys, yeah, you know, the most confusing part about this whole drama that happened this afternoon is nobody knows how it all started. Because the damn cameras is not fast enough to capture when the whole thing is starting. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. Thankfully, I had to be patient to listen to the many conversations, you know, that ensued right after the altercation, the face-off between these housemates, right? I had to listen to all of these conversations to get the actual details of what exactly was the bone of contention between these warring parties. And ladies and gentlemen, if you hear it, oh God. Now, you know what, yeah, let's just get right into the video. I'll give you all the tea. Please make sure you watch to the end, all right? And you're welcome to my channel. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija, and I am the girl with the tea, about to serve you some really, really hot and spicy tea. So make sure you watch to the end. Now, quickly, let's dive right into it. One question on everybody's mouth is, how did this whole drama start? From where to where? Because from the look of things, it seemed like things just went from 0 to 100. But ladies and gentlemen, it did not. This whole drama that exploded today has been a build-up of resentment. It's been a build-up of aggression, you know, dislike, jealousy, and guys, you name it, yes. You see that rivalry? That female rivalry that comes with just seeing another female and not liking the female, or possibly the spirit of competition in the house, ladies and gentlemen, and also the spirit of wanting to create content, dramatic content that will keep people in the house this week. Because of course, most of the housemates or most of the pairs, they are up for possible eviction this week. Everybody is fighting for a spot in the house, and so it seemed as though there arose the need for people to be extra. So emotions have been amplified this week. People have come to terms with the reality that, hey, we did not come to this house to sing Kumbaya. If you're not giving content, you're leaving the house, you're going home. And Ebuka himself did not even help matters by reminding the housemates of this same thing I just mentioned on Sunday last week after the live eviction show. Now, circling back to what exactly happened today, ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the matter is we did not see the beginning of today's drama's beginning. We did not see it, yes. But from side talks here and there of the people that were actually present at the location of the drama, it happened that the checkers pair and their clique comprised of, what's their name? The Mbadiwe twins. There's also Ben, there's TJ, yes. They were seated at one of the dining table areas and they were having a robust conversation. Oh, by the way, before that conversation even ensued, today has been quite a busy day for the housemates, yes. They've been engaged in a sponsored task that kicked off from this morning, which has also been causing some friction in the kitchen because it is a cooking task. It's been causing some friction. So most of, guys, tempers have been flaring, but people have been holding it all in, suppressing it. But finally, it's, you know, was unleashed. But anyways, back to the gist. So these people, this gang, this clique, were gathered at one of the dining table areas and we're just having conversations. So it turned out that Chinwe was passing by and then she overheard her name. Yeah, that it turned out that they were actually talking about her. So according to Toby said that Chinwe came to the table and was addressing everybody on the table that, oh, you guys are talking about me. You all are a bunch of jokers. It just reminded me of Bobrisky. It turns out that there had been a slight, minute encounter between Chinwe and Chizoba before. Yes, and according to Chinwe's own side of the story, which I heard much later, Chizoba's tone and the language she used when she was referring to Chinwe had been quite rude. So when Chinwe got to that table, she too decided to reciprocate the gesture by also being rude and disrespectful, because even the conversation they were having on the table, they were actually talking about Chinwe being rude and disrespectful. So Chizoba she didn't even help matters, because as Chinwe was saying what she was saying, Chizoba was like, we were even talking about you, Seth. Boom. That completely triggered Chinwe, and she was going off on Chizoba. You're stupid. You are a fool. You're an idiot. You're a blurch. Guys, they said a lot. And initially, Chizoba seemed like she was calm, but the moment Chinwe started with the curse words, Chizoba too was flaring up. Zion was also there trying to, diffuse the whole situation, but it wasn't working. Chinwe had to say everything on her chest. And Chinwe was like, well, yes, go ahead. Say everything on your chest. Say it all on your chest. Guys, they were just blowing off like that. But then Chinwe's friends, they were able to move her away from there. And then she was saying, yes, that they're annoying. That she wanted to say what was in her chest. And she's glad that she has let them know that they're stupid. Just when we thought that was going to end there, camera was somewhere else. So before we knew it, the camera carried us again, broom, to Wanni. Wanni was literally rushing to that same dining area where that same clique was still seated, and Wanni was going off on Onyeka. Now, this one was another drama entirely. Turns out that in the kitchen, whilst the whole cooking preparations and all whatnot for the sponsor task was going on, that, I don't know, I think they said whether Onyeka had called somebody stingy, I mean Wanni had called somebody stingy, I don't know, guys, but Wanni was just going hot on Onyeka. Onyeka too was going hot on her. Onyeka was like, well, if you felt like I was stingy, why didn't you come to me, like come to my face and say it instead of going behind my back? And Wanni was like, well, there's nothing I cannot say to your face I will say behind your back. I'm saying to your face, right? And we're just going after each other like that. And then before we knew it, because once that whole thing was happening, Ndi was, of course, supporting her sister, but then they were trying to get the sister away. And whilst they were trying to get the sister away, that was when Wanni turned around and looked at Onyeka and said, childish bitch. Onyeka was taken aback. Actually, you too. Shitty, is it dirty shit or childish dirty shit? Hey, God. Guys, they insulted each other. Now, Ndi was quite shocked and disappointed that her sister let things get to that level. From the gist around the house, turned out that a lot of people concluded that at that point in time, Wanni honestly had no business involving herself in that drama. That it felt like she was following suit, following after Chinwe's footsteps. Chinwe went off on those sisters, and so she too decided to pull off her own drama, that it was just completely unnecessary. They had stepped away from that situation and had moved to the garden where Sean and Ndi were trying to pacify Wanni. Wanni, of course, was all stressed out because she had expended so much energy shouting and shouting and shouting. But then the sister was really scolding her and, just basically berating her for putting herself in that situation and not walking away. Told her the truth that honestly, it was just completely unnecessary. She blew things out of proportion. There would have been a way that she could have had a conversation with the checker spare other than just calling somebody a bitch like that. That doesn't really make sense. Now, whilst all of that was going on, there were just so many side talks in the house. Now, Chinwe was still blowing hot, and then she came out with her crew, DJ Flo and Ruti, the flourish pair. Those ones are like her bodyguard. She's like the queen bee. So they were telling her, let's do that. She said, no, let's go over there. Like she was really stressed out. And then they went to go and join. Like it now became a crowd. At the Cubana area where Sean was laying on the bed with Wanni, trying to cool her off, trying to pacify her, and it was still going on. Guys, wait, a quick question. where did Handy's accent come from? Because this girl was just dishing out 1,000,001 accents. I was hearing British accent, American accent, Indian accent, Nigerian accent. Everything was just interclashing. Bang, bang, bang. I say, Handy, calm down. You're talking very fast. You just be shooting arrows. Calm down. But that's on the side. Something weird happened. When these other members of the gang joined them at the Cubana area, Wanni immediately said, please, you guys should just give me space. I just want to cool off. You guys should just give me space. That thing pissed Ruthie off so bad. Ruthie was really upset, but she did not say anything, yes, at that point in time. It was much later when Toby was, speaking to her and sort of explaining what exactly happened and how Chinwe outrightly disrespected everybody on that table, and not just Onyeka that she came to face off with. Along the line in that conversation, that was when Ruthie had actually mentioned that Wanni has been very, very provocative towards her. She was citing scenarios where Wanni had said XYZ, rudely, disrespectfully, and she's just looking at the girl and she's waiting for her moment when she's going to fire back at Wanni. And I'm like, oh wow, you don't say. So now there's a crack in that clique as well. Okay. This weekend, in fact, it's going to be hectic. Whilst this whole drama was happening, a particular pair were analyzing the situation, reading the room, checking out everybody's energy, and then they were drawing their, they were doing some permutations, and then they were doing some predictions on the most powerful cliques in the house. Now, they drew their own conclusion that, okay, the Checkers pair are teamed up with them, Badue twins, and then there's Sean, and then there's what's these people's name? Oh, there's Tofa, there's Suj. So they were just basically categorizing everybody. They even put Ben in there. They were categorizing the different pairs in the house, and then they also acknowledged that Chinwe also has her own clique, Zion, the Honey X Wandi, Wanni X Handy pair, the Flourish pair is also in that clique. Now, they were now weighing the strength of the pairs, or rather of the cliques. And from their calculations, it will need one of the strongest pairs in each of the clique to be evicted, before everything would completely scatter. Now, the brains behind this particular conversation and analysis at that point in time was the beta pair, Ben and TJ. This was the same thing they did last night, and they already sort of predicted that there was going to be an outburst, between the warring parties in the house. And that was exactly what happened today. So in the midst of all the chaos, they were calculating their chances, of gaining longevity in the game if the two cliques clash against each other more often. They get at least multiple evictions from each of the cliques, that everything is going to scatter. Guys, I was over here laughing and giving them their accolades, because quite frankly, it is not everybody in Big Brother's house that will see drama happening that would take their time to do such calculations. These two, they were heavily leveraging on the moment. For them, they wanted to see how everything would go. Ben was saying that at this point he needs to start removing himself from his own clique. That's the Checkers pairs clique, because to now look as if he's taking sides, so he needs to be neutral like TJ. Guys, I was just cracking up real bad. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking here right now, because the housemates at the moment, yes, they are still engaged in their sponsored task, but there's also another drama that just might be blooming after their wager presentation tomorrow. Yes, that could be another drama if they lose their wager, because they've not really given time into rehearsing their wager, and that thing is so complicated. Every time they try to have a conversation about it, there are arguments, there are disagreements. So at the moment, there's no food in the house. People are hungry, people are angry, and people are not cooperating when it comes to the wager. So if they lose again, guys, just prepare yourself for another video talking about all the fights that will happen that evening. Anyways, this is all for this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will see you all on another video. Bye.